Period.
Oh, Mariah, okay.
Okay.
Me and Brooklyn.
What's your type?
Yeah, let's talk
Well,
about
who?
that.
I really want to see who you gonna pop
I
out
love
with.
these combos.
Angel Reese narrates painful story on how her man tried to force her to do BBL. Please subscribe as you watch. It's been quite a year since the Chicago Sky picked Angel Reese as the number 7 overall selection in the 2024 WNBA draft. When they chose the LSU forward, they knew they were adding a player with an intense work ethic, someone who could dominate the paint and keep possessions alive through her relentless offensive rebounding. However, the Sky and the entire league couldn't have anticipated how quickly Reese would become a cultural figure, gaining widespread fame beyond just basketball. In a season shortened by injury, she has quickly become a celebrity, drawing fans in with even the simplest social media post. On Tuesday, Reese posted the words, "I miss my man," which sparked a strong reaction online. Many fans speculated about her personal life, but the second-year player quickly clarified that it was just a playful prank aimed at her large following. Angel Reese, widely recognized for her remarkable athletic abilities and fierce presence in sports, has recently shared a deeply personal account of a painful chapter in her life. This story goes beyond her athletic career, offering insight into the often overlooked struggles women face in a world that prioritizes physical appearance. Her experience of being coerced into considering a Brazilian butt lift, BBL, a popular but controversial cosmetic procedure, sheds light on the intense emotional and psychological pressures that come from both intimate relationships and societal standards. Reese's decision to speak out about this experience has sparked important conversations about body autonomy, manipulation, and the difficult journey women often take towards self-empowerment. In her narrative, Reese not only details the emotional toll of feeling compelled to undergo surgery, but also highlights the importance of reclaiming control over one's own body and making decisions that align with personal values and self-respect. Angel Reese has always been in the spotlight, primarily due to her incredible talent in basketball. As a professional athlete, her body is under constant scrutiny, not only for its strength and ability, but also for its shape and appearance. This is not unique to Reese, as many women in sports and public life are often reduced to their physical attributes in the eyes of the public. However, the pressure Reese faced went beyond the external judgments from fans and the media. This time, the pressure came from someone very close to her, her partner. Reese describes how he frequently pushed her to undergo a BBL, a procedure that involves liposuction and fat grafting to enhance the buttocks. The growing popularity of the BBL in the entertainment world, with celebrities like the Kardashians popularizing the procedure, has led to a surge in interest, particularly among women striving for a certain body type that is perceived as ideal. Her partner's insistence was not just a suggestion. It was framed as a necessary step for both her personal and professional development. He suggested that the procedure would enhance her appearance, making her more appealing and potentially leading to greater recognition and success. According to Reese, her partner seemed convinced that undergoing the BBL would make her more marketable in a world that valued such physical traits, and he repeatedly implied that it was an essential move for her career. What made Reese's experience so harrowing was not just the external push from her partner, but the internal emotional struggle that came with it. She recalls feeling torn between her own instincts and the mounting pressure to conform to an ideal that she wasn't sure was her own. Reese had always taken pride in her athletic physique, appreciating her body for its power and endurance rather than its adherence to beauty standards. However, the pressure to change her body to meet someone else's desires left her feeling uncertain and vulnerable. The emotional turmoil Reese experienced was profound. She began questioning her self-worth and wondering if her natural body was insufficient. In her mind, the BBL surgery seemed like a way to appease those around her, even though it didn't align with her personal beliefs. She shared how the idea of undergoing surgery became all-consuming, leading to feelings of insecurity and self-doubt. The constant pressure to look a certain way made her question if she would be loved, accepted, or even successful without changing her appearance. Despite her initial resistance to the idea, the repeated encouragement from her partner started to weigh heavily on her. She recalls feeling as though she was caught in a dilemma. Should she comply with his wishes to keep the peace and potentially improve her career, or should she stand firm in her own identity, regardless of the consequences? Reese's turning point came when she realized that her worth should not be determined by her body or anyone else's expectations of it. The realization was not instantaneous. It came after many difficult conversations with close friends, family, and mental health professionals. Reese began to recognize the manipulation that was taking place and started to understand that a relationship built on pressure and control wasn't a healthy one. The more Reese reflected on her values, the clearer it became that her body was her own, and no one had the right to dictate how she should look or change herself for someone else's approval. She began to reject the idea that her self-worth was tied to a cosmetic procedure or how others perceived her. This was a pivotal moment in her journey, one that shifted her mindset from a place of insecurity to one of empowerment. Rather than allowing herself to be manipulated into undergoing surgery, Reese found the strength to confront the expectations placed upon her. She made the courageous decision to reject the BBL procedure, choosing instead to embrace her natural body. This decision was not made lightly, but it marked a significant turning point in her journey towards self-empowerment. Since making the decision to reject the surgery, Reese has become a powerful advocate for body autonomy. She has used her platform to speak out about the importance of respecting one's own body and making choices that align with personal beliefs, not societal pressures. For Reese, the concept of body autonomy goes beyond just physical appearance. It involves the right to make decisions about one's body without the influence of external pressures from romantic partners, the media, or society at large. Reese's story is not unique, as many women are pressured in different ways to meet certain beauty standards. Her experience, however, has become a beacon for others who feel compelled to change themselves in order to fit into societal molds. Through her openness, Reese has encouraged women to stand up for themselves, to recognize when they are being manipulated, and to reclaim their bodies and their choices. Reese's advocacy extends to broader issues of self-worth, mental health, and the pressure to conform. Her story highlights the damaging effects of unrealistic beauty standards perpetuated by social media, advertising, and the entertainment industry. She encourages women to focus on self-love and to reject the harmful notion that their value is tied to how they look.